Yeah, welcome to the open book, where truth don't hide, stories ride, and every chapter got that power. Turn the page, now you stepping in, where real ones talk and the fake pretend. From viral heat to deep convo, we write the truth, let the whole world know. This ain't just a channel, it's a movement. The open book, every story, every voice.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Thursday. I know earlier today, excuse me, I woke up and thank the Lord for that. But it was a little too early, okay? And I had a little extra time because I didn't want to go back to sleep to do a quick live earlier. And so I had a meeting, y'all, and I was thinking, okay, so this meeting, because yesterday is kind of went over like an hour and something. So I'm thinking today, maybe the same thing. It was with a different person. Child, she is not long winded, got right to the point, and I was out of there. So I am so, and it wasn't far from where I live. So I was like so happy I got some extra time before I go to work. And this was a topic and something that I wanted to show you all if you haven't seen it already. That I wanted to show you all. Also, y'all, make sure you tap in later on today for our Encouraging Word Thursday. We usually go live around 7, between 7:15, 7:30 Central Time for those of you who would like to tap in for that on tonight, which is one reason why I wanted to do this live because I've been trying to do it and just got busy and was discussing other topics, unexpected things that came up. But I want to dive into, I'm going to, over the next probably few days or so, tap into this topic also, okay, in addition to our Justice for Romika topics and so forth. One case of Latasha Daniels. Now, one thing that I thought about was how we can have insecure women, okay, that are in their minds, they're planning like this whole life with a person. Now, the person that they're planning a life with may not even be available, okay, whether they are in a relationship, whether they are married, but even, the guy may have given them some type of false hope, said some things to them to make them think that, hey, if I hang around, I'll probably be with them. If I do certain things, they're going to love me, give me the attention that I so crave. Okay. And so I know earlier we were talking about on the other live with Holly and her possibly thinking that, oh, if she got Romika out of the picture, then she would be number one. Okay, that he would want to be with her. They would ride off into the sunset. But what happens if that does not happen? Okay, and now y'all think about this. She has done the ultimate. Okay, she's done the ultimate, and then you still out taking out another woman over you and you're still not going to be with me? Okay, how is she going to react? And so, with this lady, Latasha Daniels, it got in her mind that this man really loved her. Okay, we're going to kind of watch a summary video of how all of this started. And she recently was found guilty of second-degree murder. Okay, but how did we get here? How did all of that start? Okay, who played a part in her thinking that someone else's husband was about to be with her? Okay, so let me pull up this video. I'm gonna get into it.
Daniels charged with first-degree murder, facing the rest of her life in prison.
A jury of your peers has found you guilty of second-degree murder in count 1. The jury has found you guilty in count 2 of reckless endangerment, and the jury has found you not guilty in count 3. As a 13th juror, I approve that verdict. Will show your bond revoked. and will show this man respect for citizen.
In 2016, Latasha Daniels went to her pastor for help. Pastor Brodus Perry led the couples ministry at St. Mark Baptist Church in Little Rock, and Latasha needed counseling. Her marriage was ending. Her husband had cheated. She later testified that during that first session, Pastor Perry kissed her. The counseling session turned into something physical. What happened next lasted 3 years.
As I was talking and sharing, Brodus reached over and grabbed, I had a 2-arm chair, and he pulled me toward him and began to passionately kiss me. And from there, in that session, we did have sex for the first time.
Latasha made him lunch.
Okay, now y'all, peep that. Okay, she was already going through a difficult situation. She had gotten a divorce. Okay, now this pastor was over him and his wife over the couple's ministry. She was going to him for counseling. Okay, now this is why some pastors have different boundaries and procedures in place for this very reason. Okay, meeting in your office with another lady by yourself can be very dangerous in itself. Okay, whether it's to protect you, the pastor, or that lady for this reason. Hi, Miss Lady, welcome. Thank you so much for tapping in. And so she's discussing her situation. She's in a vulnerable state. See, some of these men will catch women that have this mentality when they're vulnerable, that when they're lonely, feeling lonely, or coming out of a relationship, or they don't feel love. If you think about it, y'all, some people go to work, they have these work husbands, work wives, okay, because they feel like, look, I can come up here and tell you my business. I don't feel like telling that one, or I want to deal with it at home. But I'm telling you, so then that work husband, work wife, they start seeing an opening. Okay. That like, well, shoes, I don't think everything on the up and up. All right. And so this guy, this pastor, he prayed on that. Not prayed like to God, but prayed on her during her moment of weakness. She was hurt. She was already coming out of something. Okay. Yo, Shani, thank you for joining, sis. I appreciate it. Okay. She was already hurt. And so then, y'all, in the fragile state that she was in, okay, she's describing how he pulled her chair to him, I should say, and he kissed her. It led from kissing then to them having sex in his office. Okay, during a counseling session. So now her nose is wide open. Okay, after that happened.
Almost every single day. Sometimes she'd drop it off at his church office. Sometimes he'd come to her workplace to eat with her. He knew her office code, so he could walk in whenever he wanted.
I would cook for him, and so he would come to my office to eat lunch. If he didn't come to the office, I would drop it off for him. But it got to the point to where he knew my code to my office, so he would just come in. He knew where to get his lunch, warm it up, and if I had a session, of course, he would wait out in his vehicle, but other than that, he would come in and we would sit there and have lunch every day.
She paid $2,300 to cover a debt he owed the church. When he didn't pay the full amount, he got upset with her about it.
Before I go there, because this is something else she about to get into, quit giving wife benefits to boyfriends. And in this case, not even a boyfriend. Okay, someone you cheating with. Now, he has now been granted access at that time to her office. He knew her code to get into her office. She's making him lunch. Okay, because the more she did for him, he started thinking, oh, I got her now. How far are you willing to go to be with that guy and to get his attention and love? Okay, because now she's at a point, she's single, but he's not. And now her heart was getting more into it, and she started doing these things, these wifely things. Oh, let me fix his lunch. Okay, now he can come over anytime he wants to. You have access to the code, get in there, okay, meeting up with her. And then, y'all, she's about to talk about a debt to the church. Now, I'm wondering what kind of debt did she have to the church? This part got me.
Debt was $2,500, but I ended up getting him $2,300, and he got very upset with me about it
Why did he get upset with you about it?
because he wanted me to do the full price.
When Pastor Perry got offered a bigger position at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church in Memphis, LaTosha planned both of his going-away parties, one at a cigar lounge, one at the church. She paid for most of the gifts, and during all of this, she played tennis with Tabitha, his wife, multiple times.
I planned a going-away party. Actually, he had two. He had one at the cigar lounge and then one for the church.
Who planned the party at the cigar lounge?
I did.
Who planned the party at the church?
I did.
Who paid for the majority of the gifts?
I did.
In February 2019,
So she was using a lot of her money. Now I'm wondering, where was his wife during like these parties and so forth? Where was his wife at? Because I would have been like, you having a going away party, you not going with him. So I'm questioning that, if that's how that happened. And then not only was she planning it, but she said that she was buying a lot of the gifts for him for his going away parties. Okay, so she was putting out a lot of money. I still want to know why she had that debt to the church, because she didn't elaborate. But obviously he got mad. Now I don't know, maybe she was paying for those sessions. Maybe she was paying for those sessions and he got a little upset that she didn't pay the full amount. But I really don't know why he would get upset if she's up here footing the bill on other stuff. Okay.
Pastor Perry posted this on Facebook for Valentine's Day. "Thank you for navigating this thing called life with me. Happy 5th anniversary." April 4th, he sent LaTosha a text message. "I think our time is up." April 4th, 2019. LaTosha got in her car in Little Rock, Arkansas. She had a loaded firearm. She drove 2.5 hours to Memphis, Tennessee. She went to the apartment where Pastor Perry and his wife lived. She knocked on the door. Tabitha answered. She let her inside. When police arrived that night, Pastor Brodus Perry was on the living.
And let me also say, from further research into this, they knew her. They used to go to church with her. So it wasn't like she was a complete stranger. But the wife did know her from when they all went to church together. Now, I would have found it strange, though, you driven 2.5 hours here. Okay, what do you want, baby? Because we don't live there anymore. Okay, so I would have questioned that and probably would not have let that lady in. But she was triggered when he did the dedication to his wife. Okay, she didn't like that. She didn't like that. And y'all, that goes back when Romika and Carlos were doing like the Valentine's things and the Christmas dressing as a family and all of that. That was triggering Holly. I'm telling you, every time she probably saw one of those posts, them as a family or just hanging out, okay, it was triggering her. This lady, though, child, she didn't waste no time, okay? She was like, I'm doing all of this stuff for you, and you still giving her shout outs, okay? On Valentine's Day, she didn't get a gift. She didn't get a shout out. Imagine how that made her feel. Hey, Tabitha, good morning. Thank you for joining, sis. Okay. Imagine how that made her feel.
Living room floor with multiple gunshot wounds. He didn't survive. Tabitha had been shot in the shoulder but managed to escape and get help. LaTosha was still inside the apartment when officers got there. So was this a woman who'd been manipulated by someone she trusted? Or was this a woman who couldn't handle rejection? LaTosha Daniels was 39 years old, living in Little Rock, Arkansas. She had a doctorate in social work with a criminal justice concentration, licensed clinical social worker at a company called The Root Behavioral Health. She'd been married twice. Both marriages ended, partly because of infidelity.
Did you eventually get divorced?
We did.
Now, after that divorce, did you attempt suicide?
I actually did it right before we actually finalized the divorce.
Did you commit suicide because of the divorce? I'm sorry, attempt to commit suicide because of the divorce.
Yes, I just didn't feel like I felt like a failure. That was the one thing.
Grand Rising Empress Awakened.
I felt like a failure. I didn't think that I was enough. And so I didn't feel I had anything to offer.
But you did go on to get an education, right?
I did.
And you didn't let your divorce or your teen pregnancy, you didn't let those things stop you from trying to get better in your life, right?
Right. I wanted to push forward. I wanted to be successful. And I mean, I had to be. So I kept going.
And you eventually became a licensed clinical social worker.
I did.
Now, I want to talk to you about your second marriage, okay? That was to Brian.
Yes.
Now, how long were you married to Brian?
I was married to Brian for 8 years.
When her second marriage started falling apart for the same reason,
Hey, Jessica.
she went looking
Hey,
for help.
sis.
Positive?
No.
Did you feel loved in that relationship?
No.
Did you feel wanted in that relationship?
Not at all.
Would you describe Brian as being emotionally distant,
He very much was. So,
emotionally neglectful?
yes.
She made an
Okay, now we're getting one side of the story, right? But let's just take, what she's saying. Seems like even in these relationships, she was already insecure, but being in those relationships, now she was married to the last one for 8 years. She didn't feel like they loved her enough. Okay. She still was insecure even in marriage. And like the lady was telling her, I mean, you've accomplished some things, but y'all, even when some people go to college, they have master's degrees, they have money and all of that. Some women will still be insecure. They still feel that they're missing something. And some try to find it in men. Okay. They're trying to find that validation in the right man. And the ones that she was with were not doing it for her. Okay. Now, with that first marriage, she stated that she even tried, to commit suicide. Okay. Before that particular marriage ended. And then she moved on to the next marriage. So I'm curious to know, in between those marriages, did she have time to go to therapy? Okay. To try to work on herself, because y'all, sometimes, and even in my past, I can admit, when I would get out of one relationship, you hop into another relationship. And then at what point are you working on you? What point are you trying to find out what makes you happy? Because sometimes we have big hearts. We're trying to please the man, please the guy. But then what is the guy doing for you? Okay. How is he trying to please you? And so you don't want to carry hurts from one relationship to another relationship without healing properly. Learn what happened. Now, sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it's the guy, like she said, was cheating. Okay. But that can also make a woman feel insecure. If you're in relationships and then all of a sudden, it's like this guy's cheating, then you're with another relationship, they're cheating. You're like, well, what's wrong with me? You start putting nothing. Okay. You can't put that on you. That means that they're not good enough for you. Okay. Hey, Jessica, welcome, sis. Girl, this is the Latasha Daniels story that we are looking into. Yes, I have missed you.
appointment with Pastor Brodus Perry at St. Mark Baptist Church for counseling. Brodus Perry was 36 years old, third-generation pastor. His grandfather preached, his father preached, now Brodus was doing the same. He worked at St. Mark Baptist Church in Little Rock, running the couples ministry, helping married people navigate faithfulness issues, communication breakdowns, how to keep their commitments. He'd been married to Tabitha Perry for 5 years. She was a hospital administrator. They were involved in church leadership, visible in their community. Before we get too deep, Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you find value in these discussions. Back to 2016. Latasha went to Pastor Perry for marriage counseling. Her husband had been unfaithful.
Hey, Gretchen.
She needed guidance. According to her testimony in court years later, during that first session, Pastor Perry kissed her. The relationship became physical.
As I was talking and sharing, Brodus reached over and grabbed, I had a 2-arm chair, and he pulled me toward him and began to passionately kiss me. And from there, in that session, we did have sex for the first time.
Were you proud of that encounter?
In hindsight, no, but at that time, he was giving me everything that I had been missing for a long time.
Latasha knew he was married. She'd met Tabitha, but he was also her pastor, the person she'd gone to for help during one of the hardest moments of her life. The relationship lasted 3 years.
Did you know that he was married?
I did.
Did you know his wife?
Hey, Brittany.
I had, at that time, I had seen her at church, but didn't know of her.
You got to know her better later?
Yes.
How did you feel about the fact that Brodus was married?
At that time, honestly, I did not think about it. I knew that we both were married, and I was engaged in what he was giving me.
Latasha didn't just know Tabitha existed. She met her, spent time with her. During this time, Brodus was involved in what he called ethical non-monogamy. He joined a Marco Polo group where members discussed open relationships and multiple partners. He had rules for the women he dated. They had to be out of town, not in Jacksonville where he was from, not in Little Rock where he lived. Latasha wasn't part of that group. She said Brodus pressured her to accept him seeing other women. She didn't want that. According to her testimony, when she refused, he'd withdraw, stop being affectionate, pull away emotionally. When she went along with what he wanted, he'd come back.
Okay, now let me let this work.
Okay, class, who would like to do problem 3 on the board?
Now, to me, I'm wondering if this was something that his wife knew about, okay, and agreed to, for them to have this ethical monogamy. Baby, just say swingers, okay? Just say swingers. Girl, you should have kept missing what you wasn't getting, okay? Now, she didn't care about the marriage. See, the wife seemed like she might have been open to this, okay? Because she had met Latasha. They had talked and everything. But Latasha, though, okay, peep this. Now, you fooling with the married man, but then you don't want the married man fooling with anybody else but you. How does that work? Girl, he's not even yours, okay? So he wanted her to agree to this, but she didn't. So then here comes the manipulation tool. Okay. Oh, okay. When you don't agree to what I want you to do, I'm going to pull back my affection, my time, myself. I'm going to pull back. But then when you do what I want you to do, oh, here I come back. That's manipulation. Okay. He was manipulating this woman. I'm telling you, how can he discuss anything right and then try to put a name on it? Child, just say you wanted to swing in your marriage, okay? Talking about ethical monogamy. Girl, it's diabolical. You don't want to share him with anyone but his wife because he's not yours. So he was playing mind games with her as well. Okay, now I'm not putting all of the blame on her because she still has to have like a level of accountability. You're fooling with the married guy. So he's not monogamous even with you. Yep, she wants to own it all. Exactly.
So now I want to talk to you about Brodus wanting to expand the ethical non-monogamy. Well, I guess first, was he actually engaging in ethical non-monogamy?
No.
Oh, non-monogamy.
Tabitha had no idea any of this was going on, right?
No.
As far as you knew, she knew that that's what he wanted, but he hadn't told her.
As far as I knew, correct.
And you've heard differently from even that here.
Yes.
Did Brodus ask
Language.
you about expanding the relationship beyond you?
He did.
When he asked you about that, how did you respond?
I told him I didn't want to.
Did he tell you, well, my wife's on board with it, so why isn't my girlfriend?
That's exactly what he said.
Did that cause problems between you and Brodus?
At first, no, but as it continued to go on, it did. Especially after he joined like this, he called it a book club, but they met on Marco Polo talking about the book, The Ethical Slut, and so the more
Wait, what?
that he engaged in
hold
that,
on. No,
it
what?
became to where it was because
Wait a
he was
minute.
more like unit. Why?
What did she say they just?
Did that cause problems between you and Brodus?
At first, no, but as it continued to go on, it did. Especially after he joined like this, he called it a book club, but they met on Marco Polo talking about the book, The Ethical Slut, and
Not
so
the
the
ethical
more
slut.
that he engaged.
Okay, what's ethical and how? Y'all, the title in itself is taking me out. How you gonna be a slut and ethical? Now that they own Marco, I forgot about Marco Polo. People still use that. Wait a second. That took me out of here. Wait a minute. They got a book called Ethical Slut. Gretchen said, and how she going to drag her husband's name in the mud? That husband got feelings? Okay. Hey, that one. Shout out to that one for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you so much, sis. Okay, Jazzy J, girl, you got to get that book, The Ethical Slut. Lord, I didn't heard it all.
And that it became to where it was because he was more like, why are you not on board with this? And I'm like, why would I be? Like, it doesn't make sense because we already have limited time together. So why would I say, yes, you can be able to be with multiple women? And so it was that part, it was hard.
In March 2019, about a month before the incident, Latasha testified about an encounter at a hotel that she said left her feeling disrespected and used. She described a situation where Brodus treated her in ways that made her uncomfortable. Afterward, he turned away and went to sleep. The next morning, he left without speaking to her. A few weeks later, according to her testimony, Latasha was in crisis. She showed up at a hotel where Brodus was staying. She had a firearm with her. She testified that Brodus convinced her to give him the weapon and he stored it at a cigar lounge. After that, Latasha went to stay with a friend in Pine Bluff, Arkansas for several days. The relationship continued.
Now, that was a warning right there, y'all. I'm telling you, when these insecure women make dangerous decisions, they give you a warning. Even if we want to think about even the pattern with Holly, okay? Think about the relationship that we found out about, the keys with the DJ, okay? And her having weapons and, confronting the daughter. She thought it was other women. Okay, now here you go. Look at what she did to Romika. Now, what does he think if she gets upset with him? Okay, how far will she go? Because, see, you've had warning after warning about this girl. She is now taking out your child's mother. Okay, seems like a sharpshooter at that. Now, this man had already a warning. This lady had a gun. And you want to continue to play with her heart. Like, make that make sense. Okay? These people just can't have one partner. Exactly. Good morning, Joy. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, think about that. He had already had a warning.
What I thought was going to be lovemaking was not that night.
Can you tell me what happened?
Right, Gretchen?
As I was performing oral sex on him, he began to thrust himself inside my mouth really hard. And I told him that that was hurting. Then he grabbed my hair. I had long hair, and he wrapped my hair around his hand and he started yanking it. And when he wasn't thrusting himself in my mouth, he was pulling my hair really hard. And with his other hand, he would just hit me and hit me and hit me. And I was like, it's hurting. And he was like, you better not bite me. You better not bite me. And then after that, we had sex, and it was just rough, and it was hard, and it was just not what I was used to. And then once we finished, something he never ever does was he rolled over and just gave me the cold shoulder, and I was like, you're not gonna hold me? And he was like, no, and just went to sleep.
How did that make you feel?
I felt so used.
Did that affect you emotionally?
Yes. I was just like, what has always happened to me?
Wow, y'all. Oh my gosh. And he was a pastor. Okay, this is trigger warning also, y'all, graphic details. He was a pastor, y'all. That's horrible. So imagine even in that, he made her feel less than. Okay, to me, that could have been a category of assault. You know, she had reported that, but she was probably so in love with him. No one deserves that treatment. But I mean, at the same time, like, I just wish, even before it got just way where it's going in this particular situation, where it went, I should say, you know, that she would have left this man alone, because he showed her over and over that he wasn't into her like that. But I think in her mind, she just kept trying to please him, to keep him there. But it was, each time he played with her mind and heart, it was just really getting worse. And I think it compiled from previous relationships to then what he was doing. And I think towards the end is when she let it all out. If Holly gets upset with Carlos, he can kiss his life goodbye, baby. She gonna turn on him. He's been warned. He knows what Holly Ho would do. Not Holly Ho. She's embarrassed, but she now has to treat her like he do to them other women. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Empress Awakens helping, but you're saying that like it's a surprise. Yeah, them pastors can sometimes be the worst ones, baby. It wasn't a surprise, because I have seen some. Okay, not all, but definitely is some that's out here doing the most.
According to her testimony, Brodus told her how to solicit monetary gifts from other church members so he'd have extra money when he left.
And he gave me a backstory on how to be able to elicit money from the other members of the church so that he could have a certain amount of money for when he left.
What do you mean?
Like it was, hey, reach out to the life groups and tell them, you know, I'm going away and we're going to do monetary gifts. So that's what I did.
Did he get monetary gifts from that?
He did.
Brodus and Tabitha moved
So he teaching her how to get over on the people in the church. Child.
to Memphis. Latasha stayed in Little Rock. The relationship didn't end. According to her testimony, Brodus would return to Little Rock for orthodontist appointments and to meet with a consulting client. When he came back, he'd contact Latasha. They'd meet at hotels.
Now, I want to talk to you about after they moved, okay?
Okay.
Did your relationship with Brodus Perry continue after he moved to Memphis?
Yes.
Would Brodus come back to Little Rock?
He would.
Do you know why he would come? Why he would come back?
Yes. The main reason why he would come back is because of his orthodontics appointments. And then also he was building up a business and a consulting business, and he was beginning to he had one client that he was coming back to begin to do some consulting with.
What would happen when he came in town between the two of y'all?
We would meet up at the hotel and hang out.
Now, y'all, for some reason, I don't believe that consultant story. I think it was other people he was coming to meet up with too. You could, and hey, like I said, rest his soul. He's deceased. And this is my opinion. I could be wrong, but he was already not really into her like that, right? So if you wanted an orthodontist, I'm pretty sure it's one a plenty close to you. Okay, close to you. Then you're talking about you're meeting up with clients and so forth. You can do all of that via email, video calls, and so forth. Now, unless you have to do big meetings or whatever. But I think he knew that she was crazy. Like, literally, he didn't want to tell her about the other women because she had already said she wasn't open to that. Okay. So with certain ones, they're not going to put it on blast that they fooling around on them. Although he is a married man at this time. Okay. But she said she didn't want to, share him with the other women. I feel that he had some other women there too. He wasn't just traveling to see her.
I want to, and was that he would come in town and he would contact you?
Yes.
And y'all would get together?
Yes.
April 4th, 2019. Latasha was at home in Little Rock when she got a text from Brodus. According to her testimony, it was a disappearing message. I think our time is up. 3 years. All the lunches she cooked, the $2,300 she paid toward his debt, the 2 going away parties she organized, the tennis games with his wife, and he ended it with a disappearing text message. Latasha testified that after reading that text, she felt destroyed, used, worthless.
I had sent out regular good morning texts. I didn't hear anything from him that morning. And then later in the afternoon, I seen what he had responded. And so I opened it up. And it said, I think our time is up. So he had broke up with me via disappearing text.
How did that make you feel?
I felt so used and worthless, and I just felt like trash. Like, who does that to somebody who they say that they love?
Turns out you should never sue the driver who crashed into you after a car accident. There's a much better way you could get paid away.
I'm feeling that this is headed that way for Carlos and Holly. Okay. Now, after all this girl has done, she had his baby. Okay. Took out the baby mama, the other baby mama. And you mean to tell me at some point in time, he is going to walk away and tell her that they're no longer together? What do you think that girl's going to do? You think she's just going to chalk it up? Oh, I can get another man. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I'm serious, and I'm not wishing anything bad on anyone. I'm just being from a balanced perspective of I don't think it's going to be easy for him to leave her alone. I really don't. How you going to unalive a man that's your pastor? Okay. He loved the wife too. She thought she was right. She thought that he was going to leave the wife and just be with her. See, now that he's saying it's over, it's putting her back into the mindset of the previous relationships where she wanted to unalive herself and all of that. Okay. So now she's triggered.
That afternoon, she wrote a letter to her family about the emotional struggles she'd been dealing with. Dated April 4th, 2019, 3:14 p.m.
I wrote a letter. I wrote a suicide note to my family because I was just like, I'm tired. I'm tired of the pain. I'm tired of it all. And I just wanted I wanted the pain to end. So I wrote a note and made a plan to take my life.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Latasha, do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is that?
This is the note that I wrote to my family.
Latasha, can you tell me the date and time of that letter?
April 4, 2019 at 3:14 p.m.
Can you read that letter to the jury?
To my family, I'm sorry that I have let you down. I tried my best to be the person you all thought I was. I tried to be the person you could count on and be proud of. However, I have been depressed for a long time. I did well with coping until the past 2 years. My world changed February 24th, 2017. And the shit just keeps getting worse. I know what I have been through may be nothing to some. And you don't understand why I couldn't bounce back. I have fought hard for so long to keep things together. I didn't trust anyone to know deep down how bad I was struggling. Only a few of people knew, but they couldn't help me. To my fellas, I'm so sorry that I have let you down. I have fought hard to be the best mother I could be to each of you. I pray that what I have taught you will stick with you forever. Please don't be ashamed of me. Mother, thank you for being my mother. Please know that although you didn't think I loved you, I really did. I wanted so badly for us to be close. There was many times I just wanted to crawl into your arms and have you hold me. I'm sorry for being a failure. I tried to make you proud of me. Words can't explain or express the pain I feel at this moment. I have pretended for so long to be happy. I have tried to work through the pain and begin to heal, but just as my life would have it, yet another loss appears to remind me just how much of a failure I am. I don't have any insurance and I don't have any money, so please just have me cremated and don't worry about a service. I don't want to be a burden. I'm sorry for letting all you down. I love you all so much, and I wish I could live myself as much as I wish I could love myself as much as I love you all. Please take care of my fellas and always remind them of my love for them. I'm not being selfish. I just don't know how. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. It's got out of hand, but it says, I'm sorry for letting all of you down, and I love you all so much. I wish I could love myself as much as I love you all. Please take care of my fellas and always remind them of my love for them. I'm not being selfish. I just don't know how to continue bearing the pain I have felt for over 25 years of my life. With each loss, hurt, disappointment, etc. I've experienced through the years, it only added to my current state of mind. I thought I could continue to push through and be strong, the strong Tasha everyone knows, but I can't. I'm weak, and I have been for over the past year and a half. I thought I would bounce back. I prayed consistently, but I guess God no longer hears my prayers since I wasn't doing His will.
Now, something that comes out in this, her reading these letters, man, that's so sad. it goes back to the relationship too with her mom as well. It seems like she wanted a deeper relationship with her mom, and I don't know what happened, between her and her mother. Like she's been looking for that validation, and that can happen with women as well as with their fathers. Looking for what you are missing and not having a father around. You look for it in men and so forth. And so I felt that when she was reading that, it's like, man, I already didn't have your approval, and now I feel like I really failed you doing all of this and taking my life, as when she was writing those letters. So I think that is a critical part in that. She was dealing with some depression that I don't think she knew how to control and handle at the same time. During that. Let's see. I'm gonna fast forward through the letter part. Wow, I think she was almost done.
I drove to Sherwood to go purchase a gun.
Right. I agree.
Why did you go purchase a gun?
Because I didn't have my other one.
Uh-oh.
What was the purpose of the gun?
I wanted to end my life, and I felt like that was going to be the best way to do it.
When you went to that store, were you buying a gun to kill yourself, or were you buying a gun to kill someone else?
I was buying a gun to kill myself. I had a whole plan.
What was your plan?
I didn't want to do it at my house because my son lived with me. So I decided, as I was just thinking about all the pain, to go to this park in Jacksonville, Arkansas.
How far away from Little Rock was that park?
Jacksonville might be about a 20-minute drive from my home. And the reason why I chose that was because that's where Brodus was. He wasn't from Jacksonville, Arkansas, but the Jacksonville part of it was attached to him. And the name of the park was Johnson Park, which was attached to my second ex-husband. And then Ray Road, my daddy's middle name was Ray, so I just associated with all the pain from the men in my life, and so that's where I was gonna go.
She got in her car with the gun and drove. When she saw the Memphis exit, she took it. She said she needed to see Brodus face to face. 2.5 hours. State lines crossed. A loaded firearm in her car.
I was gonna drive in my car. It's from my home, it would have been straight down 440.
Is that an interstate?
Yes.
What?
Okay, now peep this, y'all. She said she had bought the gun because she was going to unalive herself, and she didn't have her other one. Okay, where was the other gun? I'm curious to know what happened with that. Did he take it? Because she didn't have that one. Now, have we ever, and I'm trying to think, have we ever had this conversation? Why did Holly get her gun? Okay, because in my mind here, I'm wondering, did this lady say she was, because they had charged her with first degree at first, right? So you have to show that it was premeditated. Now, she was saying that she got her gun to unalive herself because she had said that she had went and got that gun because she wanted to unalive him. That would have definitely hit her with the premeditation part, right? But in all the conversations we've had, and I know she was on the scene saying she's licensed to carry and she has a restraining order. Now, I get the restraining order because you have a long list of stuff that you had on the restraining order, right? But have we ever thought about why did she get the gun? Okay, because the stuff that's on that restraining order had nothing to do with violence. Okay, that Romika had a weapon. She didn't have a gun. And I never really thought about that till right now, because this lady is saying that she got it because she was going to unalive herself. And I'm like thinking, have we ever had that conversation? I can't remember. let's see. No matter how much time you put in it, she should have left that man at home with his wife. Right, exactly. Because it opened up Pandora's box. Okay. And then you're in a point of no return.
What happened while you were driving to Johnson Park?
As I was driving, I saw the Memphis exit. And so then I was like, go talk to him, Tasha. Just go let him see you. Go see why. And that's what I did. I just drove so I can see him face to face and hope that I can get something from him besides the fact that he broke up with me with a disappearing text. And as I was driving, he did text me, and as he was telling me that he still loved me. So I was trying to just figure out what was going on.
According to her testimony, when Latasha got to Memphis, she contacted Brodus. He told her to meet him at a lounge downtown called The Pocket. She went. They talked for a while. Latasha testified that she brought up what they'd been avoiding for 3 years, telling Tabitha about the affair. She said Brodus had always promised they'd tell his wife eventually, when the timing was better, but it never was. This time, she said, Brodus agreed. He told her to drive to his apartment in Collierville. He'd meet her there. They'd tell Tabitha together.
I was not to approach him, but if he acknowledged me, then I could have, talk to him.
Did you come within his sight?
Yes.
Did he acknowledge you?
Yes.
You actually walked right?
I walked past him, and so he said, so you're just going to walk past me and not say anything?
At that point in time, did y'all engage in a conversation?
Yes.
After you talked with Brodus, what did y'all figure out?
Well, we decided that because his thing was I still wasn't wanting to be on board with him and this non-monogamy and have been able to see other women. So we came to I told him, well, we still haven't told Tab. You've always said something about telling Tab, so we haven't told Tabitha. And he said, okay, we'll tell Tabitha. He told me to go to the apartment and just talk to her about tennis until he got there, and that once he was there, we would tell her. He had to go to his boss house to drop off something. And so he gave me a backstory as to what to tell her if she asked me while I was in town. And we left, but before leaving, we came to the resolve that once we told Tabitha about the relationship, we had a trip that was planned to go. We was going to Kentucky. If she said yes, then that would be a new start, a fresh start. But if she said no, then that would be the trip that we would end.
What? Oh my gosh. Shout out to that one for the super chat. She said, great content. Thank you, that one. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much, sis. And thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. So now you have to be depressed in 10 by 10. You should have gotten help. Yeah, she definitely needed help. Because this guy here, y'all, was sending her into a lion's den, in my opinion. Okay? No, sir, you're the man in the middle. So you need to coordinate that. Okay? If you're going to tell your wife, you need to tell your wife. Okay? Don't send me over to the house. You sending me over to the house to have a conversation and wait on you for what? No, we can either go together or you go first. So then they were going to talk. So see, y'all, you don't know what the man is telling these women behind the scenes. We don't know what Carlos was telling Holly behind the scenes. Okay? We don't know. But in her mind, now picture this. In her mind, they were supposed to, talk this through. And the wife, I guess, is going to say, oh, okay, you can have my husband. And they're supposed to go on this trip and have a fresh start. Did I not say that this morning? Her mind was like, oh, once Romika was out in the picture, he is going to be mine. We're going to ride on this horse into the sunset. Okay? He was prepping this woman to think they have a possibility of him leaving his wife, and then they are going to be together. And if not, we still going to take a trip, but that's the trip we're going to break up? What? What you mean? We gonna still have the trip? No. Okay, it's too much conversation. You should have told your wife. You're not involving me. Okay, her family is going to be ashamed now because you unalive that so-called pastor. Girl, this is crazy. He's the man in the middle. Hey, honey, 5K.
If you think your child may have autism, it's important to act quickly. At Action Behavior Centers, we want to reduce barriers.
Latasha drove to Meridian Park Apartments and knocked on the door. Tabitha answered. According to what Tabitha later told police, Latasha introduced herself. Tabitha recognized the name. She'd met Latasha back in Little Rock. They'd been at the same church. They'd played tennis. She let her inside.
I heard a knock at the door.
This is the wife talking to
So me and the dog went to the door. I didn't see anyone. Well, the people was covered. And so I thought it was Brodus just playing around. So I said something like, I'm not going to open the door if I can't see anyone. So I went and sat back down. And I heard a knock again. So I went back to the door. And I peeked out the door. And I saw a lock, swinging. And I was like, Tasha, is that you? And she, nodded, yeah. So I was like, okay, let me put the dog up. I went and put the dog up, and then I came back and opened the door. Okay.
The two women sat in the living room and talked. Casual conversation. About 30 minutes. Waiting for Brodus to get home. Tabitha didn't know why Latasha was really there.
I invited her in, and we just sat on the couch and just kind of caught up. How are you? What's going on? How are the kids? Have you been playing tennis? Stuff like that. Just really small talk.
When Brodus walked through the door, Latasha testified that she expected him to finally tell the truth, to explain to Tabitha that they'd been involved for 3 years, to own what he'd done. He didn't. According to Latasha's testimony, Brodus acted like nothing was wrong, like this was a normal visit from an old church friend. Small talk, surface level, no mention of the affair.
When he came in, he didn't look surprised or anything, which is what I thought he would do since he knew I was going to be there. But he was just like, I think Tab was like, surprise. And he was like, this not a surprise. I thought you had some keto cookies for me. And from there, he was like, what are you doing here? And then I went with the story again that I was in town for a conference. And we just kind of started engaging in small talk. He came and sat beside me. And then after about a minute or so, was like, would you like a pour?
What is a pour?
A pour is some bourbon.
What? Did you accept the pour of bourbon?
I did.
Where was Brodus seated?
Anissa.
He was approximately a foot or two from me.
I'm putting back up from me.
Now, one of my wonderings is, how did she know where they lived? Because they had moved, so did the wife tell her where they lived? Because I would have questioned that too. Or, that she just popping up at our house. How you know we stay here? Now, maybe that came out somewhere in the case, but the part that I'm listening to now, I'm wondering how she knew where they lived.
Cumulative exhibit.
He probably told her.
That blue chair.
This blue chair right
Yes.
here? And you were seated here?
Yes.
And Tabitha was still seated here?
Yes.
Hey, the highest point.
After you accepted the pour of bourbon from him,
Right.
did he make any comments about you drinking?
Latasha said she waited for him to say something. She kept looking at him, trying to get him to follow through on what he'd promised at the lounge. He wouldn't.
He came back and sat down, and as we were talking, he would make references to me drinking and would say, well, I think you're going to have to stay the night. So I'm thinking, okay, well, this is about to get into this conversation. But he never would give me eye contact. But he would continue to make, it's like, we have to clean out the bed in there because it has a lot of clothes on it. And, but I'm still looking at him to get, to see where you going with this. But he never.
So that one just said the pastor took that other gun, the one she pulled out previously. So see, he didn't know she had a weapon. She had just went and purchased the other one. And y'all, now okay. This is the part here. You can't make me believe this lady didn't go with the intent to do something. Because even if you, okay, you said you bought the weapon, you were going to unalive yourself. Okay. Now you're at this man's house. Why are you taking a gun up in there? You decided not to unalive yourself and you're visiting with him. Why do you still need it? You could have left that up in the car, glove compartment somewhere by now. Between traveling 2.5 hours, you done met up with him at a lounge and all of that. I think even if y'all, this is just my own thinking, okay, on this. Something just hit me. I feel like this. If when they met up at that lounge, okay, if he had said the wrong thing to her at that lounge, I think she would have took him out there. What y'all think? I think she would have taken him out at the lounge. Because he now gave her hope at the lounge that we're going to take this back. Now, he doesn't know about the gun. That we're going to take this back to my house. That gave her a little bit of hope. Okay? But see, now he playing these games with her. You have her over there, and now you're not owning up to what you said you were going to do. And she's side-eyeing like, okay, you're not even looking at me or anything right now. That's like Holly Ho driving across the state line with the, okay, or driving. Some people say it wasn't state lines, but driving from Waukegan, they said it's like 45 minutes to an hour to get there. Okay, Gretchen, clock it. Thank you. Like, ma'am, you already had the bullets in the gun. And then this lady here, Latasha, it appears as though she had the bullets in her gun. Because at one point, you're in these people's home. Would you have had a chance to take it out and load it? No, it was already loaded. Okay? It was already loaded. This lady, other gun, remember the pastor? Yes, you're right. There was no reason for Holly to get a gun. So that's what I'm saying. That one, thinking about this lady here, that just made me think back to that. Like, we never even determined, well, what was she getting the gun for? Okay, I knew why she was getting a restraining order based off of her laundry list of things on that page, but why the gun? Okay, y'all didn't even live by each other. Yeah, she never put on there. Exactly. She didn't put Romika had a gun. That's what I'm saying. So why did you get one? We still haven't gotten there yet. That's a big thing. And for her to put on the actual restraining order that Romika did not have one, come on now.
Did lead into the conversation. He actually started asking me questions like, so where are you staying in Memphis? And I'm like, that wasn't part of what you told me you was going to say. So I don't know Memphis. He knows I didn't know Memphis. And so I didn't know what to say. I finally said an Airbnb. And then Tabitha was like, where? And I was like, downtown. And then that conversation ended. And he continued to say something about me staying the night, but never going into the conversation of what we were supposed to be talking about.
After about 10 minutes, Latosha stood up. She told them she was leaving and started walking toward the door. Brodus and Tabitha walked with her. At the door, Latosha reached into her pocket. She testified she was reaching for her keys. The next thing she remembers, she said, is standing in the kitchen. In between those two moments, Latosha pulled out a gun and fired. Witnesses in nearby apartments heard gunshots. A woman's voice shouting.
I saw that it wasn't going anywhere. Like I said, he was not giving me eye contact.
Right.
So I knew, or I felt like he had changed his mind. And I just didn't want to keep sitting there feeling, at that point, stupid.
What happened after you said you were going to leave?
I believe that.
Tabitha got up, he got up, and so she began to tell me about watching for the police, because I had been drinking.
Okay, so let me see. Malika said Romika threatened Holly's life several times, including calling her grandmother and telling her, I'm going to kill your granddaughter. Why should she not take it serious and arm herself? Well, first, and welcome to the open book. First thing, well, do we know if that was really from Romika? What receipts, proof did we have that it was Romika that called her grandmother and stated that? Okay, I have yet to see any proof of that statement. Also, I don't feel that Holly felt in fear enough and thought that Romika had a weapon because on the restraining order, she did not put that information when it asked about the weapon. Did she feel that that person had a weapon? She did not check that she felt that. Okay. So if I felt that that was truly someone calling my grandparent, threatening me, saying they're going to unalive me, I would have definitely put that on the restraining order that this girl may have a weapon. Okay. And we need to see some proof because I'm not believing anything until I see some receipts and proof. That's all. With all due respect, until any of that long list of stuff, because we know how people play, we know how people call from fake numbers. Okay. We know how people can do fake text messages. So until I see that it is authenticated and that it is proof, I can't say that. Okay. I can't say that it was really her. Right. She shouldn't have been in that wife's face. Okay. Yeah. Where are the receipts? Okay. That was made up. There's hearsay, not proven. Thank you. Thank y'all. It's hearsay. Okay. And like I said, if it's done, I'm not saying that it wasn't. However, I am saying, how can you provide some evidence and proof? Because see, we can repeat stuff all day long. Okay. We can repeat stuff all day. But until we say, oh, here's a document that they located the phone number, it was called from this phone number on this day, okay, from this person, we haven't seen that. And a lot of that stuff is questionable on that long list. Where's Rebecca? Can the real Rebecca speak up? Speak up because she's listed on that restraining order like twice. I would even like to hear from her. We haven't even heard from Rebecca. So I question the long laundry list of things that are on that restraining order. And if she felt that threatened, then you should have put on there that I feel that she has a weapon. If not, it's still Ramika feared for her life. It was 2 against 1, and one had the weapon. And that was Holly. We're still trying to figure out why she got that gun. Okay, if you can give us clarity and receipts, we would greatly appreciate that.
Had you drank a lot?
No, not at all. But she still was just letting me know. And she began to walk toward the door. And I asked him, would he walk me out? He said no. And I said, why not, sir? That's Southern hospitality for you to walk a woman outside when it's dark. Because I wanted to just get him to see like what happened. Why didn't you follow through? But he refused to walk me out. So Tabitha opened the door and was walking out. I was still trying to get him to walk me out. And as I reached into my pockets to get my keys, I remember being outside the door, and then the next thing I was standing in their kitchen.
Do you deny that you shot Brodus Perry?
I do not.
Do you deny that you shot Tabitha?
I don't, but I know it wasn't intentional.
Did you mean to shoot Tabitha?
No, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody.
When you went to that apartment that day, did you intend to use your gun on either Brodus or Tabitha?
No.
According to the affidavit, Tabitha told police that Latosha said, "You broke my heart," while firing. Brodus was hit multiple times. Tabitha was shot in the shoulder. According to testimony, Brodus told Tabitha to run. Get help. Tabitha ran. She made it to a neighbor's apartment and pounded on the door. Latosha walked out of the apartment, then came back inside. Tabitha was still trying to leave. According to her statement, Latosha told her to get out of the way, then fired at her again.
Now, y'all, as she was shooting, she was saying, "You broke my heart." I think for every shot she was shooting, she was releasing from the hurt she's felt from different men in her life. He was the brink of all of that pain, anger. She snapped. I don't know if y'all have ever watched Snap. Y'all used to watch that every Sunday. I feel that she really did snap. Okay. I feel that she really snapped. And that's why she said she only kind of remembers being at the door, but then in the kitchen. Okay. Now, with her, in her situation, I don't think it was so much as her coming for the wife. Okay. But I do remember that she told the wife to move. She had shot her once. She was telling her to move because her target, oh Lord, it's thunder. I'm about to get off from here, y'all. She did tell her to move, and she kept unloading on him. She had to reload her weapon. Okay. She had to reload it. I found out in this world, any man that learns and picks up a Bible don't make him a pastor. Okay. Tanya said Romika wasn't thinking about Holly. She had too much to lose. She wouldn't jeopardize her career. Okay. Why didn't Rebecca have her own restraining order? That doesn't seem accurate. Uh-oh. Well, I think she contacted Rebecca about Holly. Yeah, which is, I don't know how Romika would know Holly's friends and want to contact. I mean, that was like, oh, okay. There have been some that preached, to get money. She doesn't have to have a weapon to be a threat. Well, I'm saying on the paperwork. Okay, that's what we're asking. Why did she not say, because, hey, you feel threatened? Hey, should have put that on the paper. You think she got a weapon? You getting a weapon. Okay? It's not equal. If I don't have a weapon, why you need a weapon? Just say you can't fight. That's all I'm saying. Just say you can't fight. You don't want to fight. Just that's all. I would be okay. You know what, y'all? I think I would even probably be okay if that girl just came out and just said, I just don't know how to fight. Just say that. We're going all around like a big circle. I don't want to hear it. The girl just cannot fight. She can't even dance. She was trying to dance like Romika. She cannot fight. That's all we're saying. Just say that. Okay, we don't need to keep coming up with text messages, all this stuff. You had smack and lip. I would never. And then when you met her, you wanted the smoke, kept going over to a car. She trying to retreat and leave. You keep coming for me. Then when I get out the car, you don't want the smoke. You want to pull out a weapon. How is that equal? Okay, that's all we said. Just say you can't fight. That's it. She was bold to go to that man's house. Yes, girl. She had no business in his home. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jezebel, but not a liar. She lied to the judge. They recorded her lies. That's all Romika told the judge. Holly had nothing to lose. She was a threat to her and her child. Right. Okay. Sounds like she had followed him home before. 2.5 hours away. I'm like, wait a second. Hey, Krisha. Hey, sis, welcome. She Googled that couple's address and the church had access to his address. So that's how. Hey, Brittany. Okay, it's justice for Romika. Okay. That was her intention all along, because why bring a gun if she didn't intend to use it? That's what I was saying. Right. Because she had time. See, this is where it goes to the time stuff too. If you have time to put it up, you have time to think about it. Okay. It's not an immediate threat to you. Okay. So in this lady's case, she had time to leave it in the car. You done drove to the lounge. You could have put it up. You done drove to this man's house. You could have put it up. You know his wife is going to be in there. So I just questioned that. Okay. I just questioned that.
She said, well, I'm not going to keep you guys. I'm going to, head out or whatever.
Hey, Brittany.
So we all got up to walk to the door, and I led, and she was behind me, and he was behind her. And I walked to the door, and I'm just giving this little spiel about not speeding in the area, just making small talk as we go to the door. I open the door, and I go out. We're on the second floor, and I'm like right at the steps when I turn back, and I'm like, okay, no one's behind me. And then I see her pull out her gun and start shooting
Was she inside of the apartment or out?
No, she was outside of the apartment, and he was like standing in the doorway, like in the threshold.
Had she ever, since she got there, and you let her in, had she left the apartment to go back to her car or anything?
No.
So she had brought the gun in with her when she came into the apartment?
Yes.
So when she pulled the gun out, what happened then?
She started shooting. He hit the ground. And I started running toward him. And she told me, like, basically back off. So I stopped and I ran to the neighbor's door and I banged on the door, you know, called 911. She went back into the apartment, so I went back into the apartment because I'm just trying to figure out what is going on. Like, why is this happening?
I wouldn't have
so
went
I'm,
back
you know, screaming naturally, you know, why is this happening? What's happening? You know, why are you doing this?
So do you think your neighbor called 911 at that point?
One of them did. Somebody called.
When you got back into the apartment, did the defendant still have the gun in her hand?
Yes.
And what was going on then?
I guess at that point, I'm basically pleading, like, what's happening? Why are you doing this? Please leave, you know. And she's, you know, kind of pacing a little bit,
Yes,
you know, with the gun. At some point, the gun was reloaded.
So she fired until she ran out of bullets?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Gwen.
Were you ever shot?
I was shot.
Tell me about that. When did that happen? Where were you?
Well, at some point I got on the ground, and I can't remember if I got on the ground immediately, but I was on the ground and I was kind of hovering over him, you know, kind of in my mind. I'm like, let me cover his head, you know, so he doesn't get shot anymore. And, you know, she was yelling at me to move, and I wouldn't move. So I got shot.
To start a podcast with Riverside, all you need is a concept
but she
and
could
a
have
way to
unalived the
record.
wife. Like, seriously.
Here's
the
how it
wife
works.
all up in it.
First-
I'm like, child, at that point, I probably would have left. They got something going on. Let me go over here and call the police. Okay. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm gonna stop there. We're gonna have to watch the last little part later. Man, I want to see it, but I'm gonna have to definitely go. And it's thundering here and pouring and raining. But yes, so that was the Latasha Daniels situation. So right now, this is at the part where she is shooting her husband, Brodus Perry, the woman's husband, you know. So then she's trying to help her husband. He's telling her to run, okay, but then Latasha, in the midst of that, she reloads the gun. I'm like, oh my gosh. So she really just lost it at that point. She lost it and was saying, you broke my heart. You broke my heart. She kept repeating that over and over. So we're not going to let that negative stuff over here, open book. So there won't be no arguments over here. We do good every day. Right. No arguments. Right. Thank you, Latte girl. I'm looking at it outside. Shoot, I might be a little late. They just slack up. Okay. I was trying to get to work before it poured. They said 9 o'clock. It's almost 11 o'clock here. So I thought it wasn't going to do this today like this, on this level. And I know my son is at school probably wondering what is going on. Yes, Brittany, we are definitely going to finish it. Let's see. We only have, how much more? Oh, okay. We only have about 20 minutes of it. Not even 20. Left because it goes into some more things. So I want to do a part 2 and finish that video. And yes, these are different situations. Okay, of course, the setting and so forth, but there are some similarities in the thinking behind it. That's what I wanted to highlight. Insecure women making dangerous decisions. That's what we were talking about to that person that felt that, oh, it's a different story because of the look. I know it's a different, that part is different, but there are also some similarities in this. And I still don't agree that Holly felt that Romika would unalive her with a weapon and she didn't put that on the restraining order. She should have put that on there. Okay. She came and traveled with this weapon. So I could go into that all day long. You can't make me believe she felt that scared. If she was there and about to leave, according to one of Carlos's confidants, okay, Romika was about to drive off. Holly came and approached her car, hit the hood, and the other witness said that too, antagonizing her. Girl, you're not that afraid. Okay, you had time. That's key. You had time in between to get out, to get into your car with your scary self and retreat. You could have. Not that you had to, because that's what's going to be next. She don't have to retreat. I know that. She wanted to. If she was that scared, she could have. Okay, so please miss me with that. Okay. Let's see. Spiritual awareness, cleansing, and hygiene are real things. Some people need to practice abstinence. Okay. Oh, it's raining there too. Wow. Okay. The fatal, yes, that fatal attraction type. Mm-hmm. Right. It's raining here. Oh, wow. So and she said that she blanked out. Yeah, that's what it seems like. And I mean, she said one minute she was in the door, and then the next thing she knows, she's in the kitchen. So you done blacked out and just started shooting. And y'all think about this. She had the weapon in her jacket. Okay. In her jacket. What did I say about little Miss Hollywood? If they say that she had that on her, it was in the jacket. Now, to me, because it couldn't have been in those little tights she had on, because she had the black jacket on. Okay? I want y'all to peep this. It's a reason I say certain stuff. Now, this lady, too, had it in her jacket, in the pocket. Okay? Now, that's quick access. It was already loaded. Now, little Miss Hollywood, we heard the witness say you went over to the passenger side of your vehicle to get yours. But some people say contrary, it was on you. Okay? That part is still, but like I've said, if it was on her, that's the only way I would think that it would be on her was in her jacket pocket. Now, to me, and you have a whole baby that you're transporting, if you went, now she could have easily, now y'all think about this. She could have gone over to the passenger side of her vehicle and got it and put it into her jacket, right? Now, to another person, that would be like she had it on her, right? She did. She had it on her. It was in her pocket because she did walk over to the passenger side to get it. Now, it was already loaded. In both of these situations, that weapon was loaded. They didn't have time to load it. Okay, it was already loaded. I feel that Latasha Daniels came there with the mission in her mind that if this man didn't say the right thing, she was going to take him out of there. He had already said he wanted to end it with a disappearing text. I feel that if this thing didn't go the way little Miss Hollywood wanted it to go, we already saw what she did. Okay? Yeah, she walked around, got it, and put it in that pocket, I bet. And that's just, hey, allegedly. That's the only place I could see with it being on her. And she probably had her hand on it when she put her hands in her pocket to pull it out quickly. This lady had quick access to it. Wasn't in her purse. Yeah, Brittany said she already planned this. She knew what she was doing. Now she's in jail. Does she have any kids? Yes. I think she has a son. Romika wouldn't have been calling no grandma because she didn't have time for all. Right. You think she got time to play these telephone games? Child by. Oh, let me call. That's stuff we used to do in high school. Like, well, I didn't, but people used to prank call. We were in elementary school. Who's still doing that? Child, she seemed like she was bold enough to put and call you out online if she really had time. See, she wanted to be on somebody's mind. Don't get me started. Do not get me started. She wanted to be on somebody's mind. Nobody was giving her the attention. So she's putting up all this stuff because she wants someone to think about her. Okay, girl, nobody was thinking about you. Like, seriously. If you said the girl blocked you, or I got to go back and look at it. Either she said she blocked her, or Romika blocked her, or Holly blocked Romika, but she liked one of your pictures, why would you even put that on a restraining order? Like that, because somebody likes something, that's intimidating to you. You scared because they liked it? I've never heard of that. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. She just liked my photo. Like, this is crazy work. I just don't understand. And then you have people that's just repeating the same nonsense. Stop. Until y'all get some evidence of anything. I have yet to see a paperwork, the first of anything. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. Show me, email me. Okay. Any documents you have proving anything you saying. Okay, because we've heard from witnesses. We've seen police reports, things like that. Child, stop. Okay, just stop. We don't have time today. Yes, the highest point. Why would she already have it on her if she wasn't? Thank you. Clock it. Okay, that sounded plain to me. Right. It sounded plain to me. Because, child, you wouldn't even have it on you and loaded with a whole child. No, stop. Okay. Hey, Karen. Yes, it is justice for Romika. That's what's on this platform. Yes. Okay. All right. And I'm, like I said, I'm welcoming to people with varying perspectives and views, but y'all, we got to make some stuff make sense. Okay. We just can't keep repeating stuff. And we didn't, some stuff we done moved on from, like everybody, all parties to moved on from some stuff. Some people still reciting the old stuff. Come on and recite the new stuff. What's new? What's the latest update? Okay. We still don't know the latest update. Give me something new. She came there to unalive that wife and him. Yes, she did. I feel that, Gretchen. I feel that. Oh, Jessica. Okay, I'm gonna watch that. Okay. Yeah, because I love those type of shows. I used to watch Snapped and everything. All right, y'all. I have thoroughly enjoyed this live on today. You guys, thank you for your input. Shout out to that one for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you so much. Also, y'all, make sure that you tap in and watch the live from this morning. It was a short one, but make sure you tap in and watch the replay of that one. And this evening, we have our Encouraging Word Thursday. For those of you who would like to be a part of that, it's very laid back and formal. We listen to Pastor John Hanna from New Light Church there in Chicago. You just need a word of encouragement, just a little time away from the news, drama, beef, and all of that, and just woosah, hear what thus saith the Lord. Hey, we are there on tonight, probably about between 7:15, 7:30 Central Time. Let's see. She wasn't caring about unaliving the both of them at this point. No, she wasn't. She could have. That's how you know that she was really. It wasn't about the wife. She just shot her to move her out the way, right? But if she really wanted it with that wife, she could have unalived that wife too, and she would have been out of here because she had plenty of rounds. Yes. Look at Shelly coming in here. Hey, Shelly. Hey, sis. Girl, where you been? I'm about to get off. You are an hour and a half late. Okay. Hey, Frodo's welcome. Thank you for joining. Girl, yes, you are late. Shout out to the mods that came into the building. Shelly, Shells, and Latte. And was Dreamy Girl here? The Dreamy Girl. Yes, the Dreamy Girl. Thank you. Shout out to Tanya Lewis for the super chat and for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes. Okay, look at Neat. You're late. Okay. Y'all are an hour and a half late. Oh my goodness. What are we going to do? Now you got to catch 2 replays. Okay. Y'all got to catch 2 of them. The wife was already outside, so no, don't go back. Exactly, Gretchen. I didn't understand that part. If I was the wife, you think I'm going back in there and this lady has a whole gun? I would have been like, oh, I hope he all right. Baby, from a neighbor's apartment praying. Okay, I hope he okay over there. Oh, Lord, please let the police hurry up again. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Karen. You know what, Pastor Hannah, he got to project and speak louder. I don't know what it is. Like with the other ones that speak, it's not low like that for some reason. Even if you listen on Sundays, some Sundays his mic is low when he talks. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to try to get in that chat. If it's low tonight, I'm going to try to put it into their chat and say, could someone increase the volume on Pastor John Hannah's mic? Because it's a little low. Shout out to my sis Shelly Shells for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's show. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Make sure you tap the like button. Let everyone know we were live. That is for free. Also, y'all, tomorrow we're going to have a giveaway. Okay, you will have some chances to win. We're giving away Cashapp prizes on tomorrow. Because I just wanted to give back and do something special for you all. Well, I'm gonna throw in some questions, some Ramika themed questions also. Okay, see how many of y'all have been following and paying attention to this case. Okay, so be on the lookout for more information regarding that. But I do love you all. Thank y'all so much. I have to get out of here and head on to work. But I hope you all have a great day. And until next time, be blessed. Make sure you subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell because you never know when I'm going to go live. Thank you and have a great day.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.